What's up, guys? Sorry I've been a little absent lately. I did something dumb. I kicked a drive shaft with my foot. There was no beer involved, I swear. And I somehow mechanically ripped off my big toenail. So yeah, that was fun. So I've been kind of laid up watching YouTube and watching AVE a lot. Shout out to AVE. I probably memorized half of his normal expressions, so real smart guy, like him a lot, very entertaining. But today, anyway, I digress. Today we have a Schlage smart door lock. Why would I want something like this? Why would anybody want something like this? Well, you know what? It was on sale, and I was bored, and I couldn't really do anything else, so I kind of went on Amazon and bought some stuff, and figured you guys would like this. Schlage Encode. So this is the one that has Wi-Fi built in, and you can unlock it and stuff from your phone, and the whole IoT thing that everybody's into. Wow, fancy. This is the Camelot trim, the nickel one. The reviews on Amazon overall seem to be pretty good. There were some people that complained about battery life issues and the usual stuff that people complain about on Amazon. So I think before I get too excited about this, I'm going to give it a quick test on the bench before I tear my whole front door apart. Not that this is terribly difficult to install, but why should I waste my time, right? So fit and finish seems to be pretty good. Got the keypad, you got the deadbolt. I guess this is the smart portion of the smart door lock. Batteries included, cool. Non pour la vente. La vente, oh, retail. Okay, yeah, so they don't want you to sell these individually. Not labeled for retail sale, loosely translated. So, I guess the first step is to plug this in together and make sure it works. And make sure it works reliably. Check the battery burn down rate. It is a BE489WB. And if you're curious about how this thing ticks inside, I'm not going to take it apart like AVE does, just because I'm not as rich as he is. One way that I find to see how these things work, or how they chooch on the inside, is to look up the FCC ID. There are, well, let's put it this way. When these devices, they get FCC tested, and these are required to because they emit an RF signal, you can see the internal photos, and you can see all the componentry and all that fun stuff and see how it chooches. So the FCC ID on this one is XP, oh boy, is it a B? I think it's XPB Denali, D-E-N-A-L-I. Wow, okay, that doesn't really sound like a Schlage term. I don't know if Allegiant is the parent company or what, but anyway, the ID is 8053B as in beta Denali, D-E-N-A-L-I. So if you want to look up and see how it chooches on the inside, you can do that. Sorry, AV, you're my idol lately. Anyway, so let's put some batteries in this thing and see how it works. Alright, so step one, I think, is to pull out the battery holder. There we got our 4 AA's. I think I'll use rechargeables just for giggles. Get this thing booted up, we'll hook up our little wire harnesses there, and we'll see if this thing works and how well it works. Get the app installed and everything. Get all excited. Cool. Okay, we got our batteries installed. I got this thing all hooked up. Now I guess we need to find some kind of an app, right? I'll give you the instructions in about 65 different languages. Secure the lock to the door. That wasn't so bad, was it? Final test. Okay. Schlage.com. Yeah. So I guess we need to find the app, right? Touchscreen, low battery icon. Okay. Let's find the app. Okay, I searched for Schlage Encode, and I think the Schlage Home is the app. I guess we'll see. Install. It's time for some cerveza. Wow. it's pretty full. We got to take care of that. Wow, it's getting warm. Open. Whoa, cool. That looks just like my lock. Oh my goodness. Okay. I agree. I guess I don't have a choice, right? Okay. I guess I gotta log in. You guys don't need to see that. After the typical two-factor authentication process, now it's time to add a lock. Maybe? Schlage Encode. Cool. Yes, the lock is installed. I can figure that out myself. Okay. Alright, we gotta locate the programming code. Boy, that looks complicated. Okay. Okay, got to press and release the button as shown. Okay, oh, we're not shown anymore. Oh, it's doing something. Look at that. This may take 30 seconds. Okay, I'm excited. Oh, beeping, beeping. Lights, flashy lights, blinky lights. Cool. Time to connect to Wi-Fi. Okay. Type in your appropriate Wi-Fi password. And we are connecting to Wi-Fi. Any more blinky lights? No more blinky lights. What's going on? Oh, there's a blinky light. That seems like it might be good, right? Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Oh, uh-oh. Screen on blank again. Oh, beeping. Beeping's good. Okay, look at that. Time to do some cool stuff like name it front door. Okay, we'll name it front door and we'll set up an access code. Okay, I guess it's doing some kind of auto configuration. I don't know if I want to do that yet. I feel like we should install this first. Maybe I should have followed the directions. But who follows directions, really? Anybody? It's so boring. I guess I need to look at it. All right, fine. Okay, 1/8 of a beer later, we have the old lock set out, which was also a Schlage. Have the new deadbolt installed, obviously a Schlage. Comes with two little face plates here, one for rounded corners like this one, and one square, which is what this one has. So now we got to put the piece on the outside. So following the directions yielded some things that were not so nice. Namely, this hole is a little tight on the bottom. So I'm gonna just loosen this up with a knife and hopefully that will clear things up. Just a little itty bitty off the top. Yeah, so you would think that one Schlage lock set would very conveniently replace another, but no. Sigh, this is why we can't have nice things. So, the deadbolt is sitting proud of the door frame here, so I need to chisel some of this area out here and mortise that out a bit more. Gonna use a file, a hammer, all the usual implements. Dig that back in, because what was happening is it was sticking out too much and hitting on the striker plate over there. That's a lot better. Make sure you pay attention to the top and bottom. They are conveniently labeled. Check the closure. Wow. Okay, let's start all over again. So much fun. Well, I should say, if all your screw holes are stripped like they are on this 30-plus-year-old door, I'll show you a little trick to fix. Step one is to ask your wife where she keeps the toothpicks. When she tells you I don't know, go for the random stuff drawer. You may have a couple of them like we do. You know, there and... yeah, we got a few of them. Anyway, ask her where the toothpicks are, and oh, look at this. There's a couple of toothpicks back here on these little Halloween decoration thingies. So we'll grab a few of these. No one will know the difference. You might need a couple toothpicks. Ow, man, that hurts. Now, after you find your wife's toothpicks, step 2 is to ask her where the wood glue is. Oh, wait. That's your job. You better know where that is. So what we're going to do is we're going to coat these toothpicks with some wood glue. We're going to shove them in the hole. That's what she said. And then we'll tighten the screws. And this will add some extra wood fibers and some nice, strong, premium wood glue. Never go anywhere. So yeah, something like that. Maybe not the prettiest job in the world, but who's ever going to see it really anyway? Then you take your trusty razor knife and cut them off and wait for them to dry. And by wait for it to dry, I mean shove screws in there absolutely immediately. Amazing how well that trick works. Thanks, Dad. Appreciate it. Hope you guys get to use that trick too. Very, very handy. Rock solid. Let's check the closure. First time. Wow, okay. Now let's put her all back together for the second time. Jeez, I don't know who installed this door, but I needed to do a lot of chiseling, a lot of adjusting, a lot of slicing with the knives, and finally, it's good. So yeah, I don't think this door is long for this world. All right, let's install the inside trim. Yay! Now, it should be blatantly obvious to the casual observer that I'm just following the instructions that come with the damn thing. The English ones. So, step by step, not so tough. I would strongly recommend that you kind of test fit everything, because this is not the easiest thing in the world to do unless your door has been installed perfectly, which every door in the world I'm sure has. So, locked, unlocked, locked, unlocked. Very nice. Now it's time for the smart bits. I think now it's time to install the battery pack. Little aside, I like these Encode batteries. They're originally made by Sanyo, which I think the rights were bought out by Panasonic, or maybe Panasonic bought Sanyo, I don't really know. Anyway, these batteries are really good. I've been using them for a long, long time. I have some batteries that are 5, 10 years, no, probably closer to 10 years old. They still work just fine. They're not cheap, but nothing in this world is good is cheap, so little plug for the Encode batteries. These are nickel metal hydride. You need a special charger, obviously. So let's plug her in and see what happens. Where's the app? Oh, I heard a beep. Let's go get the app. Whoa, heard another beep. Maybe we should wait a minute. Let's go get the app. Oh, I didn't even do that learning procedure and it seems to work already. That's pretty fancy. I didn't even follow the instructions and the thing works. Let's try it again. Boop. Wait for it. Oh, there it goes. Door is open. And we get a notification. Front door is unlocked. That's so cool. Let's lock it. Man, this lets me be so lazy now. Front door locked. Wow. Now, let's look at the settings, because we have some kind of a notification there. There's probably a software update, because everything has a software update these days. Yep, look at that. Performance improvements. Let's update now and see what... 5 to 15 minutes, holy crap. All right, let's see. Starting now. There are lots of beeping going on. No, there's no need to keep the app open or stay close to your lock. Oh, that's cool. Now, a lot of people online complained about this app, but so far it seems pretty easy. So we started this about 5:22 focus. 5:20 focus. I don't know. I give up. 5:22 Eastern. Oh, now we're about 2 minutes into it. We'll see how long it takes. And 5:26, and we're still downloading. A little point of interest, anytime you buy an exterior door lock these days, they give you 2 keys. I mean, for what this thing costs, why only 1 key? I mean, really? I mean, I know it's a smart app and all that, but how often do those things actually really work the way they're supposed to, right? Half the time you have to reboot them, or they crash, or they don't work, and you need to get the key anyway, so why they only give you 1 key? How much does that cost? A penny? 2 pennies? Come on, really? Come on, Schlage. 2 keys, 2 keys. So yeah, 5:30, 5:31 or so. Update failed. So first attempt, no go. Let's try again. Why can't this stuff just work? 5:31. Okay, so update number 2 failed after 5 minutes. Let's try update number 3. Update now. So silly. And fail once again. So I think we're going to try rebooting the device. And let me try rebooting my phone too. Let's reboot the device first and see if that works. And to reboot, I'm just going to yank the batteries and shove them back in. Okay, yank the batteries, 5:46. Let's do update, see what happens. This is getting tiresome. 5:51, yet another update failed. I mean, should I go get another beer? I mean, I probably drank 2 beers in the amount of time this thing has failed. Let's reboot the phone to take the phone out of the equation. this doesn't work. Maybe we'll go to the computer. Maybe this thing has like an IP address where we can get to it from a web browser. Amazing if that was the case. Rebooting. Let's try yet again. 554 after rebooting the phone and repairing to Wi-Fi. Rebooted the device, rebooted my phone, and yet another update failed. This is getting tiresome. Do I care enough to keep on trying to update? I mean, they usually do these updates because of security issues and other odds and ends, so do I care? Maybe? Kind of? I don't know. Maybe. So yeah, still updating. Hasn't failed yet, but I think it will pretty soon. Another possibility I want to acknowledge is that I put those rechargeable batteries in there, which are 1.2 volts nominal, and what came with it are just the traditional alkaline batteries. And because these are a lower voltage from the factory, obviously the app kind of recognizes them as a kind of a lower state of charge. It says that they're 70% and they just came out of the charger. So I'm wondering if perhaps the boost regulator in there is not strong enough to deal with the lower input voltage from rechargeable batteries. So when this fails again, I'm going to take the batteries that came with it, thank you Schlage, these Duracells, and we'll see if that has any impact. Hopefully, and I'll also keep in mind that when these devices run, and I know this from experience, one of the most power-consuming parts is when the Wi-Fi radio connects to or makes a connection. And I've seen brownouts, I've seen reboots, I've seen all sorts of weird crap when the Wi-Fi radio boots up on rechargeable batteries if the boost converter is not designed to handle rechargeable batteries, or if the power circuit is otherwise not appropriate. So let's try the batteries that came with the thing to see if that makes a difference. So we'll wait for the failure. This is a 9-year-old's reaction to a smart lock. What do you think? How many digits do you want to have to remember?
4 or 3.
What if I told you it requires 12 digits?
I would be mad.
Why would you be mad?
Because I would forget it.
Well, that's the whole idea.
Then how would I get back in?
Knock on the door, like everybody else.
Well, if you're not home.
Why would we be not home and you're out? We'd be bad parents.
Sophia was here.
That's different. Update failed. Okay, we're changing the battery. Okay, we got the new batteries in, or the factory batteries, I should say. Let's see what the battery state of charge is now. It was 70%, now it's 100%. So I wonder if that makes a difference. Let's try. Firmware settings, update now, please work. So factory batteries, no good. Still no update. So I'm not gonna make this video about updating the firmware or lack thereof, so I think we'll just probably end it here. I mean, the lock seems to work. I can, press the button and probably hear it in a second. Yep, just unlocked. Front door is unlocked, and we can press the button and it just locked. So, oh boy, they really want my feedback? Wow, okay, I don't know if that's a good idea. Anyway, so I think we'll end it here. I don't want to make this video about updating the firmware. Still need to make that happen though. Anyway, hopefully you found this video somewhat helpful. I mean, the Schlage system seems to work pretty well out of the box. Not seeing any obvious issues. So, yeah, I got this on Amazon. I think it was about 180 bucks or so. It was down from like over 200. I think it was probably $50 discounted, so I jumped on that. Looks pretty good from the outside. Didn't mess around with the keypad yet, but you can set up these user codes. Let's unlock it so we can go outside. Wow. So we can set, oh, that's a little off kilter, need to adjust that. But yeah, we can set up user codes so people can enter stuff on the keypad and get in the house. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Nice system. Anyway, hopefully you found this video somewhat helpful. If not, at least somewhat amusing. If you did, please subscribe. Thanks. Hey guys, I just wanted to do a 1-month follow-up on the Schlage Encode lock system. You saw me install that, and it's been maybe a month and a half or so since I installed it. And I think you guys saw me talking about some firmware update issues. Well, I got those resolved. Long story short, it took about a month. I contacted Schlage technical support. Took a couple days for them to respond every time I sent them an inquiry. They did end up replacing the lock, and the new lock actually had the exact same issue. The firmware update would start and then eventually fail after a couple minutes. So that got me thinking, is it likely that two locks are bad and wouldn't connect to or wouldn't download the firmware? Probably not. So I thought a little bit about it, and I thought, what's common? What's common is my environment here, right? I have access points, Wi-Fi access points in the house. The lock seemed to work just fine. I could lock, unlock, send out virtual keys, everything. Everything about the lock worked fine except for the firmware update. So I thought to myself in kind of a Hail Mary pass, you know what, let's try connecting to my cell phone using a Wi-Fi hotspot. So I disassociated the lock from my Wi-Fi in the house, and I associated it with the Wi-Fi in my phone using the hotspot functionality. And it was actually kind of interesting. The firmware update worked just fine. So really, there's some kind of compatibility issue between this Schlage Encode system, at least on the firmware that I was on, the 5.x series, and the Wi-Fi in my house, which is Ubiquiti Unify AC Pro access points. I have two of them. Again, that's the Ubiquiti Unify AC Pro access points. So there's some kind of compatibility issue only in the firmware update process with the Ubiquiti Wi-Fi access points. Don't know what it is. I told Schlage, I gave them all the information locally that I have here about my access points, their firmware, the controller software, and all that nonsense. So hopefully Schlage will reach out to Ubiquiti and resolve the issue. No guarantees though, who knows. But if anybody buys these locks and you have issues updating the firmware, as a kind of a backup solution or plan B, try tethering to your Wi-Fi hotspot in your phone. That worked for me. Anyway, I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing and stay safe. Thanks a lot. Oh, one other quick point before I sign off. Just wanted to give you guys a quick report. Again, it's been at least a month since I installed the system on the original batteries. And let's take a look at what the battery life is on the locks. So I have a family of 3. We've been coming and going as we would normally. We've been locking and unlocking from our phones and using the keypad on the outside as you would expect to. And the battery is at about, since I'm tethered to the camera, it's not going to work, but the battery was about 91% yesterday when I looked at it. So that's pretty good battery life, 91, 92% in a month. So I saw some complaints online about people saying the batteries only lasted a couple weeks or a month, but certainly the batteries that came with it, those Duracell alkaline batteries, they're doing wonderful. Maybe those folks are using their locks a lot more. Maybe they're on an old firmware. I don't really know, but so far, phenomenal battery life. So thumbs up, Schlage. Good job. Anyway, again, hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please subscribe and stay safe.